Who moved my cheese? Where did it go? Who moved my cheese? Where did it go? Who moved my cheese? Ho, ho, ho!
Imagine a world where all you have to do is find cheese.
4 little creatures lived in that world,
Each morning they woke up and set out into the maze.
searching for what made them happy.
2 of them were mice, Sniff and Scurry. They didn't think much, but they moved fast.
The other 2 were little people, Hem and Haw. They thought a lot, sometimes too much.
This time I'm going for something big.
What if I drew my own path through the maze?
They didn't know what they'd find, but they believed it was out there, and believing was enough. Eventually, they all found it at a place called Cheese Station C.
Every morning, Sniff and Scurry ran the same route. Hem and Haw arrived a little later. They took off their shoes and got comfortable.
This is great. There's enough cheese here to last forever.
They felt safe. Haw went on to write on the wall, "Having cheese makes you happy," while Sniff and Scurry kept checking the cheese. Hem and Haw knew that the cheese will always be there.
One morning, Sniff and Scurry arrived, and the cheese was gone. They weren't surprised. They had seen it shrinking. They turned and moved on. Later that day, Hem and Haw arrived.
What? No cheese? Who moved my cheese?
They had built their lives on the idea that the cheese would always be there.
What if it's really gone?
No, it cannot go. Someone took it, and they'll put it back.
Every morning, Hem and Haw returned to Cheese Station C and found nothing. They kept hoping the cheese would come back. But the days passed, and the cheese did not.
What if it's not coming back?
It has to. We've earned it. I made plans. I built my life around this cheese.
So did I, but maybe it's gone.
No, we wait. They'll put it back.
What if they don't?
Haw didn't have the answers, but something inside him had started to shift.
What are you doing?
Reminding myself of something.
You're not really going back into the maze, are you?
I don't know. But maybe staying here is worse.
What would you do if you weren't afraid? And with that, Haw took a breath and stepped back into the maze.
At first, Haw felt completely lost. The maze was cold, unfamiliar, empty. He hadn't been out here in a long, long time.
But the farther he walked, the more he realized being back in the maze wasn't nearly as bad as he feared.
How did I get into that situation? Smell the cheese, often so you know when it's getting old.
He hoped that if Hem ever decided to leave, he might find this message, and maybe it would help. The maze didn't change, but Haw did.
I feel good and I haven't even found any cheese yet. When you stop being afraid, you feel free.
And the more Haw imagined himself finding new cheese, the more real it began to feel. So he writes, "Imagining myself enjoying new cheese, even before I find it, leads me to it."
After days of exploring, Haw finally arrived at a new cheese station, but it was nearly empty.
No. If I had come sooner, maybe this place would have been full.
It wasn't much, but it was something. Enough to keep him moving.
The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese.
He had to go back. He had to tell Hem that there was still cheese out here.
Haw followed the markings he had left behind, back to Cheese Station C. He hoped maybe Hem had changed.
Oh, Hem, you look hungry. Here, I brought you something.
I don't think I'd like new cheese. I want my cheese back. I want things to be the way they were.
He didn't blame Hem. He had once felt the same way.
It is safer to search in the maze than remain in a cheese-less situation.
Haw still hoped. Maybe someday Hem would follow. Maybe the writings would help.
Haw kept going, not because he was certain, but because he was no longer afraid to be uncertain. He imagined himself enjoying new cheese.
And somehow, that vision helped lead him forward. Then, it happened.
And there they were.
They've been here this whole time.
They had noticed the change early. They hadn't waited. They hadn't overthought. They had just moved. This time, Haw didn't stop learning. Each day, he inspected the cheese and still explored the maze, not because he feared losing it again.
But because now, he knew better.
Change happens. They keep moving the cheese.
And one day, he heard something.
Could it be Hem?
Who moved my cheese? Where did it go? Who moved my cheese?